The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan political organization that encourages informed and active participation in government, works to increase understanding of major public policy issues, and influences public policy through education and advocacy. Elections and voting are core concerns for the League of Women Voters. The League is committed to providing fact-based information about issues and positions the candidates take on those issues to help voters make their own decisions and participate in the electoral process. Conducting debates like this one is one of the ways we encourage informed and active participation in government, and we thank you all for coming tonight. Before we begin, we wanted to make you aware that in New Jersey, there are 2 public questions on the general election ballot on November 7th. They concern grants for library funding and the dedication of revenue for environmental damage lawsuits. As a service to the voting public, the League of Women Voters of New Jersey has prepared an analysis of each ballot question with reasons to vote pro or con. These are complex issues, and we encourage you to take advantage of this resource. We have the information on our information table, and we encourage you to pick that up on your way out. That information is also available on the League website, lwvmorrisarea.org. The League also has a website, vote411.org, and it's a digital voter's guide that will provide information about all aspects of voting in New Jersey, and if you plug in your address and zip code, it will give you the candidates on your ballot from the governor on down to all the local folks running. So it's a great resource, and we encourage you to use it. If you like to participate in these types of efforts, the League always welcomes new members, both men and women, and we've also got information about membership on a table. So before we begin, I want to reiterate that the League of Women Voters never supports or opposes candidates for office or political parties. Any use of the League name or footage from the debate in campaign materials, literature, or advertising of any kind, including internet, cable, or television, is not authorized by the League of Women Voters. We do have 2 members of the press here, and they will be doing some video for the local online press and the Chatham Courier. As a courtesy to the candidates, I'd like to ask everyone to turn off their cell phones and electronic devices and refrain from taking photos or videos during this debate. At this time, I'd like to introduce our moderator, Practice. She's not from this voting district. Ms. Murray is a League-trained moderator. She is a member of our League, but she lives in Morris Township. She'll introduce the candidates and outline the format for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Oh, good evening. I'm very happy to be here and encouraged by this turnout. I'm going to explain our format for the evening, and then we'll get to why we're all here to meet the candidates. We'll begin with a 2-minute opening statement from each of the candidates. We adhere to time constraints, so a very valuable person on this voter service team is Connie Stroh, who is sitting in the front row. When a candidate has 30 seconds left of the allotted time, Ms. Stroh will put up a yellow sign indicating, time is almost up. And then when the time is up, she will hold up a red sign. I will allow the candidates to finish a short sentence, and then we'll move on with the next part of the program. After each candidate has had 2 minutes to make an opening statement, we'll turn to the questions that you are thoughtfully writing on these index cards. We're delighted that several of your own students from Chatham High School are serving as ushers tonight and picking up the cards. It's a wonderful way to encourage involvement of the next generation. At no later than 20 of 9, perhaps a few minutes earlier, we'll stop having the question and answer period and move to the closing statements from each candidate. And again, each candidate will have 2 minutes for a closing statement. Each candidate will have 1 minute to answer a question. And if any candidate chooses to make a 30-second rebuttal or rejoinder, I will allow the other candidates to take advantage of that if they so choose. Now, in order to, as you can see, the candidates are listed in alphabetical order. But we do have very scientific, I have a little cup with some named numbers in it, for them to select their position for opening and closing statements. So that our first speaker, the lucky lottery winner, number one, is Mr. Michael Ryan. So Mr. Ryan, you'll have 2 minutes for your opening statement.
Sure. Are we ready?
Yes. You're all set?
Okay. Thank you to the League of Women Voters for sponsoring this event tonight, and thank you all for being here. My name is Mike Ryan. I'm an everyday guy who grew up the youngest of 8 kids in a small house in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. I put myself through school while working full-time.
To speak up.
Can I start over?
Okay,
Put myself through-
start over. Honey, can you start over? Yeah.
Sure.
And now every other candidate can start over.
Can you hear me?
No.
Is this working? Does this work? Sorry. Okay, so I put myself through school while working full-time and became the first in my family to graduate from college. These early experiences are a reminder for me of the important distinction between wants and needs. I am a 15-year resident of Chatham, and my wife Kathleen and I are blessed to send our boys to the great school system. In addition to my 20-year career in the insurance industry as a risk manager, responsible for budgets exceeding $700 million annually, I am also a business owner of a startup technology company. I continue to have the pleasure of coaching baseball and soccer in town. And additionally, I am a volunteer for several causes, such as an advisory council for special education and a support group for dads with children with special needs. So what are my visions with regard to the schools? My visions are your visions. When I was out in the community, I heard great things about our schools, as well as concerns related to having our vote on the annual budget taken away, frustrations about the central office building, lack of communication, bullying, special education issues, taxes, traffic, and so on. I have many ideas for tackling some of these challenges, such as setting up committees to work with the board on these specific issues, revisiting the central office building decision, and asking the voters if they would like to once again have the right to vote on the annual budget. I believe that my needs versus wants philosophy, my expertise in risk management, technology, and budgeting, and my sincere desire to work with the interests of the entire community will give the board what it needs to operate with a balance. In general, these will require 3 things: inclusion, accountability, and transparency.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker will be Ms. Rubio Williams, who'll have 2 minutes.
Hi, good evening. I too would like to thank the League of Women Voters for coming out tonight. I think the service they provide is a crucial aspect of our democratic system, and I am happy to be here to share ideas and my opinions with you. My husband Jim and I moved to Chatham 18 years ago. Actually 18 years ago next month. It seems like just yesterday. We consider ourselves very fortunate to be able to raise our boys in a community that values both education and public service. Our boys both attend Chatham Public Schools. Alex, our senior, here at Chatham High School. Oh, I'm sorry, being corrected. He's a junior. And then there's Max, our 8th grader, and they're both here in the public, so sorry to put you on the spotlight, but I'm glad that they're here to show some support for their mom. I digress. As they've gone through the academic schools here in Chatham, I've always made it a part to be involved, whether it was class parent at Milton Avenue or PTO president for that matter. And in that situation, overseeing over 30 committees all come together to enhance our children's academic experience. I do that sort of work because I enjoy it. I honestly and truly can say I love being a part of this community because every time I turn around, there's someone else who's willing to do the same. Professionally, I have over 20 years of marketing and sales experience in the TV and cable industry, an industry in which I hold my skills to build consensus, create teams, create solutions to difficult matters. And you do this by asking and seeking opinions, seeking ideas. 40 seconds. So I want to bring all of that together. My skills out in the workforce, my skills out in the community working with you to make it a better place for our kids here in Chatham. But not forgetting that we're much bigger than the schools. We are a community made up of seniors, of taxpayers, of parents who all have the best interests of our kids. And bottom line, if our schools do well, we do well. I want to work together with you to make that whole each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you.